This is Broken Age. We're here on Xbox Series X. Be sure to like the video. Subscribing is great as well. So what are we getting here? It's 1080p, 60 FPS, and this is a throwback classic adventure game and or basically a point and click. It features two split perspectives, and you can kind of dive in however you want to go, and they sort of come together in some really interesting ways. It's a coming of age sort of tale between these two individuals that are trying to figure things out for themselves in these entirely different worlds. It's a game that basically had a long sort of development behind it, where part one came out and then the second half came out like a long time later, and it is a really neat sort of charming experience with two rather interesting protagonists. So we got Vella Tartine and Shay Volta. They're two teenagers in similar situations, but in completely different worlds and ways of life. You can switch between their stories, helping them take care of these situations and the wild adventures that follow. It's got a pretty big cast of characters. Elijah Wood, Jack Black, Jennifer Hale, Wil Wheaton in there, some dialogue trees in regards to some choices, lots of quirky, funny puzzles. They're definitely trying to be, kind of entertaining, while also balancing like a narrative between these different characters. It was a pretty lovely, easygoing sort of time, and I did find this one to be rather interesting when I played it back in the day on the PC side of things. It was kind of cool because it was one of those like backed titles, and then eventually over time it actually fully was available, and then it came to other platforms and places. It's a Double Fine game, if you're aware of who Double Fine is. They make some pretty legendary titles, and this one's just kind of really cool. I really love the art direction. I really like the voiceover work. I like the silliness of it. I like the style of this one. It was definitely a very fascinating sort of experience again to see it kind of release over time. And then I don't know if it was really something that was like really widely known. I know for a time it was like, okay, well received, pretty much like that. But I think it's got a good amount of game time. I think it's got a good amount of like content to it. It's just like I think it's got a really strong opening, and then it's got some things here or there that you would find interesting, but it's a fun sort of story. It's a fun adventure with some cool characters and some choices, and while it is kind of, I guess you would say, almost linear in regards to where things sort of go over the adventure and whatnot, I think it definitely is something that was distinct and interesting, and you don't really get a whole lot of titles like this these days. I mean, we've got lots of them in classic gaming, but it's a bit more of a rarity seeing some of these games over time releasing. But yeah, this one, it probably looks so weird if you've just been kind of like watching the gameplay and taking it in. But it's essentially like this character here, this individual is kind of like stuck in this really sort of dreary places. Shay, Elijah Wood, is just kind of like on this ship, and it's mundane, and it coddles him, and he doesn't understand really why he is stuck in this and wants actual adventure. And it's really quite interesting seeing his tale kind of evolve and getting his perspective. And then you've got Vella, Masasa Moyo, living in these like badlands, a ravaged land by the Mogs, and it's kind of a similar situation, but a little bit more directly dangerous, I guess, in terms of the words and stuff that have been going on. But yeah, it's all presented in this very storybook-like sort of way, and how the artwork is done, the light interactions, the movement, you doing things. It's really, really quite interesting. It genuinely is a fascinating sort of game that I think you can enjoy the narrative of, you can enjoy the like puzzles of, you can enjoy the setup of it, and you can find your way through it just by kind of, interacting with things, trying different stuff out, making different choices, going about it different ways. And that's kind of the fun of it, is sort of getting through this narrative and figuring out, the connections here, what's going on, what's happening, and it's really, really rather intriguing. So, yeah, I think this one is definitely something that's kind of cool and worth diving into. I think it's sort of quirky and entertaining, and I got some laughs out of it, especially with the, the strange characters and just, like, basically the insanity that this character has to deal with, particularly with Shay's perspective. Just of being in this, like, mundane place where it's like, is it dangerous? Is it not dangerous? But everything is just, like, straight up coddling him, and you get these, like, ridiculous, kind of creatures and creations sort of working with you. It's neat. It really is. Like, this was a really cool game. It's a smaller title. It's something a little bit different, but it's certainly worth your time and definitely worth playing, especially if you like this genre of game, which I think you do, rarely see too many neat standout titles from this genre these days. But I don't have any more details. You can enjoy more gameplay if you just want to see it in action. But yeah, this is kind of the concept of it, but it's pretty cool. It really is. It's a neat title.
Better suit up and investigate that foreign body.
Ooh, don't like you going out there. Let's use the safety suit.
Ah, come on. Okay, I'm outside the ship. The foreign body must be very close by. I found the object. It appears to be something organic in nature. Something's telling me I should stick my face right into it. Ah! Get off of me! Get off!
Time for more adventures in Sleepyland.
Good night, son. See you tonight, son.
Good morning, Shay! Choco Rockets?
Sure. What difference does it make?
Your saliva has a 0.001 pH imbalance today. May I suggest more whole grain nutrient paste?
What mission should we go on next, sweetie?
Fake train wreck, please.
I knew you'd choose that one. To System 7.
We're gonna crash into Spike Canyon!
Wake up, Bridgeman!
We're saved! Lower the bridge! What an amazing idea! Brilliant and resourceful! Don't forget the sunset! Without being,
Back to sleep.
What are you doing?
Shay!
What were you thinking? You could have saved us so easily! I'm sure we had his reasons!
Woohoo! Having fun? Huh? Who are you? When you tire of child's play, when you're ready for real danger, come see me. But... Tell no one. Do you understand? Okay, but... No one. Hey! Wait!
What?